To Numsa, it's held a briefing about its special National Executive Committee meeting, the union giving its views and its suggestions on what should happen at Eskom. eNCA Samkele Maseko is at that presser. He joins us now live. Samkele, we all know that there's been plenty of reaction to particularly what the finance minister has said in terms of bailouts for Eskom over the next 3 years. What's Numsa's take on that?
Well, Michelle, you would think that the NUM, which had their press briefing last week, have taken notes from what Numsa have been saying over the past few years, where their General Secretary, David Sipunzi, basically said what Ivan Jim said today. So it looks as if the two rival unions have been sipping off the same cup of tea or reading from the same manuscript. But I will cut it short and let Ivan Jim speak for himself. General Secretary, it seems as if you and the NUM are joining forces when it comes to this issue of Eskom and unbundling. Why the sudden unity of workers when it comes to this issue, and why this posture that you are taking with regards to Eskom?
I think as unions, an injury to one is an injury to one, each one teach one. In this case, right back when we were busy negotiating, we saw the danger lights that Eskom was going to be plunged into a crisis, and we detected earlier that the IPPs were not in the best interest of Eskom. And anybody else in this country, if you're spending people's money, you would be expecting that people must take responsibility. If you're the CEO, you are expected that you must observe particular standard, PMFA guides you, and so forth. But what has been shocking when it comes to the IPPs, no PMFA, no rules that are observed, fraudulent expenditure is allowed. I mean, it was reckless, both of Pagamani Hadebe and Jeff Hadebe, despite the fact that the previous CEO would have taken the warning from Moody's that IPPs were bad news to continue with them, signing them into the grid. And in 2018, we would have actually went to court to say to Jeff, don't sign the 27 IPPs because they are going to destroy the financial liquidity of Eskom, especially at the principle of must buy principle, that if you generate energy from the IPPs into the grid, you will not sell the one that comes from the power station, you will sell the one that comes from the IPPs. It means what the IPPs are doing is to destroy Eskom sales. Now, the very same people who argue that basically they concern about Eskom. What we're seeing a government that wants basically to take out what I define as the heart of Eskom, the operations market system of Eskom, which is everything, which is the grid, which is everything that makes up Eskom. They want to take it out of Eskom and be in the hands of the very same minister in the name of Jeff Hadebe. And we think that the answer is very simple, is to fast-track penetration of the IPPs, which is why we're calling through this press conference that as unions we must unite, we must oppose the ISMO bill. This ISMO bill would have been brought by the ANC. We rejected it in the past. We think now the ANC is in partnership with DA to bring it back.
What proof do you have to say that the ANC is in bed with the Democratic Alliance, and what are you doing to ensure that Eskom is not sold? You can make wild allegations, but what is in the tea of what needs to be tested is these allegations that you are making. Where is the proof of those allegations?
I think the first proof, you can go and ask them whether it is not their plan to take out the Eskom operator system out of Eskom. If they say that's not true, we will be very happy. We think that DA and the ANC are in cahoots, my money. It's very strange. We think that the ANC and DA, they have now come together. There's a unity. When Tito speaks about privatization of Eskom, even if it gives money, it is on condition that Eskom is restructured. It is the DA that gives the big hands of applause. And from where we're sitting, that there is an agenda, basically, not just to loot through the IPPs, And when we say you're privatizing, they say, no, we're not privatizing. But look what they are doing. I have shown you a graph that they have targeted between 8 and 10 power stations to decommission. They will replace those power stations by IPPs.
When is the day of March? We are out of time there.
Well, we will decide very soon on the date of March.
Well, it seems as if there is a unity of the unions when it comes to the issue of Eskom. They've put aside their political differences and are uniting to try and say what they want to do in saving Eskom, in their words, from the private sector and the privatization of Eskom. In not so many words, they're basically saying that it's the return of what they once termed, when they were still in the MDM, which is the return of the 1996 class project.